Barcelona's summer has often been a balancing act between ambition and arithmetic. But this week, the ledger feels like a plot twist. The club is scrambling to tick a box on a form that could hand Hansi Flick a tactical lifeline. Gerard Martin, a 23-year-old left-side defender who has been orbiting the first team, suddenly becomes the centrepiece of a quiet administrative operation. Not because he's a global superstar, but because his registration can only happen if salary cap room appears on the books. That room, according to multiple reports, will come from an agreement with veteran Romeu to terminate the final year of his contract. A pragmatic severance that trades a modest financial hit now for roster flexibility tomorrow. The optics are bizarre and revealing. A coach asking for a young squad option, a club wrestling with La Liga accounting, and a veteran and his representatives negotiating the price of departure so that a paperwork box can be ticked. For Flick, Martin offers what every coach craves in the opening weeks: choice. He's left-footed, comfortable as a left-back or as an auxiliary left-side centre-back. And he gives the team a plug-and-play solution when rotation, injuries, or tactical shifts demand it. In a squad where minutes will be precious and competition fierce around Alejandro Balde and the centre-back slots. Adding Martin to the roster is not about glamour. It is about having options without forcing wholesale tactical compromises. Behind the scenes, Barcelona's hierarchy has to weigh small calculations with big consequences. Or tactical shifts demand it. In a squad where minutes will be precious and competition fierce around Alejandro Balde and the centre-back slots. Adding Martin to the roster is not about glamour. It is about having options without forcing wholesale tactical compromises. Freeing wage cap room for Martin could also ease the path for other registrations that have lingered. Goalkeeping reinforcements, academy promotions, or the finalisation of deals that were shelved while the numbers were messy. Conversely, if the Romeu negotiation sours, or if the paperwork arrives too late for La Liga's administrative window, Flick is left to adapt, perhaps postponing the use of Martin and rethinking who is prioritised for minutes. That means the Levante match this week becomes a litmus test. Will the club find the breathing room to bring the youngster in, or will Flick be forced to field a leaner, less flexible roster while the club untangles its books? The human element should not be lost. For Martin, this is a career hinge. Years of youth development and steady progression distilled into a single administrative decision that will determine whether he wears first-team colours in a competitive match. For Romeu, late in his career, the choice to part ways is measured against dignity, opportunity and financial reality. His agreement could be framed as a generational baton pass, freeing a slot for a youth product to step forward. And for the fans, the drama is oddly intimate. A reminder that modern football is as much about ledgers as it is about lineups. Hansi Flick, meanwhile, must manage both head and heart, dissuading a board to move numbers, preparing tactical plans that assume Martin's inclusion, and keeping the squad focused while off-field bureaucracy plays out. If Barcelona secure the registration, the immediate tactical upside is clear. A left-side safety valve, more options for rotation, and a coach able to test different configurations without jeopardizing balance. If not, the story becomes a cautionary tale about how thin margins and administrative delays can shape a manager's early months. Either outcome feeds a larger narrative this summer. Barcelona's transfer window is no longer just about marquee ins and outs. It is a daily negotiation between financial constraints and footballing desire. The coming days will reveal whether a neat signature and a resigned contract settlement can quietly change the trajectory of Flick's season, or whether the club will be reminded that even the smallest boxes left unticked can echo loudly on the pitch.